Mike, this doesn't sound like it's legal.
Yeah, it seems like fraud. I mean, how are these ministries regulated?
You signed up, you're giving somebody money to take care of your health care costs, and you just said it yourself, they don't pay your health care costs.
That's right.
I mean, to be clear, Keith, you were paying in $500 per month to this ministry thinking that you were covered, correct?
That is correct.
And so then I'm just curious, and obviously you said that they're not regulated by insurance commissions, but what recourse does poor Keith have? Like, who should be regulating this?
Probably the only recourse you have, because it's specified in federal law right now that they are legal, can operate the way they do. You want to make sure you don't go with some of these bottom feeders that take advantage of people and don't pay out anything. If you go to a legitimate one, they're still going to be very limited in their coverage. It's a buyer beware. Really understand the fine print. Don't feel pressured at the time you make the acquisition. And once you have that policy, you better make sure that you have some other form of backup available to you, because obviously even the good ones aren't going to cover for people that have a major medical issue, such as a pre-existing medical condition.
And Peter, let me bring you into the conversation, because it's easy to say, read the fine print, but in fairness, I've never read the fine print of any of my insurance policies. I've obviously glanced at them, what are the benefits, but to think that people are going through insurance brokers and being put into these fraudulent cost share ministries, you would think that there would be a legal recourse here. I'm curious, how is it illegal for I'll call it a company, to come in here, basically falsely advertise that we're going to insure you, but basically at their own discretion not pay anything out?
There is recourse. Okay, so generally, broadly speaking, every state in the union that I know of has laws against unfair and deceptive trade practices. And promising somebody one thing and delivering not that thing and taking their money, some people would call that fraud. Lying, cheating, and stealing is not okay. Lying and cheating and stealing in the name of some religious exemption is really not okay. And so there are laws like unfair and deceptive practices, fraud, breach of contract, deception. Those are all claims both in federal law, state law, common law, that all need to be looked at when you're faced with a situation like this.
Are you aware of any suits that are going on for people that have gone through a similar experience as Keith and are trying to get legal recourse?
Yes, there are cases that I've seen around the country, individual cases, collective cases against some of these bottom feeders.
Mike, you've also done some work in Washington State going after these cost-sharing ministries, correct?
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't help Keith retroactively, but going forward, we're finding them right now. The very company that Keith was dealing with, $1 million, we have a cease and desist order in effect right now that doesn't allow them to do business in the state of Washington any longer because of the practices they were engaged in. But there is also, as is being pointed out, legal action too. There is a class action lawsuit that has been filed against this very same company. So this is one where there is recourse, but it doesn't help the individual that's out there that has a bill that they have to pay and are looking at medical bankruptcy.